Hello everyone, this is Aaron again, and welcome to the second half of, I really shouldn't say half because there's one other I want to do on hunting safety, and especially pesting safety around farms and that sort of thing. So today I want to actually take you guys to one of the properties that one of the permissions that we have, and walk you around that permission and show you the vantage points from where we can take shots safely, and where we really have to think about it, or maybe even hold off on the shot because of distant houses, building, people, animals, that sort of thing. So I'm going to show you a couple of levels of the farm, and where we can and cannot shoot from. And I'm going to try to talk about it in two perspectives, because I have two 25 calibers, and I have a couple of 177s, and we elect to shoot the 177s there because of safety. But if I ever did want to go there and take the 25 cal, I could do it without any problem, because I would know the places from which I could shoot that 25 cal and the places from which I better not pull that trigger at all. And so I want to talk a little bit about that in this video. It's a short video just to walk you around, so to show you that when you get a property and you get a permission, you don't walk on it shooting. You want to walk around, find out what things are, find out what the safe areas are, take a look at the buildings, that sort of thing. We even had a piece of his roof laying there, some scrap, and I asked for it, and I brought it home and I shot it, and from different distances, and I even shot through some objects to hit it secondarily, like I would if I hit a pigeon or a sparrow or something, to see what the dent would be in the building, and to find out what was a good distance for that. I wouldn't want to go point blank on a bird and miss, and have it penetrate the building, and maybe even exit the material. So let's go and take a look at one of these particular properties, and how we assess our safety and what calibers we can and cannot shoot and where. And then we'll come back and close it out. Thanks. I come up here to give you a visual perspective of the layout of this land for the safety thing. Okay? We know that anything that we shoot over the buildings behind me is okay, because there's nothing out there but range lands. So we could come up here with a 50 cal or anything we wanted, because there's nothing over there for miles. And as we sweep down here, it's the same thing. Nothing for miles through those trees. Now, if you look over there in the distance, that is the first home. And then over this rooftop and all along that road are homes. You won't see them again because they're blocked by the rooftop. But as I swing around to here, you will see two more homes down there, there and there. And then there's another home just over the rooftop there. So we know that when we're taking shots on this hilltop, we cannot take anything, and plus there's a major road down there. So we know that we cannot take any shots in that direction because of the homes. However, anything that way is good. If you take a look down there, again, for a mile, there's nothing but open land. Go back here towards the truck now. Hope this wind isn't causing too much problems. And it would be the same thing here. Any shot in that direction up over that hill, there's nothing for about 3 miles. Same thing over the top of this building. We can shoot anything we want over the top of this building. So when we're up here pesting, the only thing we have to worry about in terms of shooting a higher caliber would be anything shooting in this direction here, because that's where all the homes are. It's down that hill. So basically we have free range for shooting over the top of this building in that direction, over the top of those buildings in that direction, over the top of this building in that direction, and anything there. But all shooting has to cease of any high caliber that we might bring once we swing to this area here, because now we have things in a road and homes downrange. So this is how we try to determine when we get to a place where can we shoot, and we have to pass up shots if we had 22s and 25. But with 177s, we know they got a pretty limited range, and usually we shoot with backstops anyway. So safety is not a big concern here in that regard. So just wanted to show you again from the high up land. I do another one from down there, and we can use higher calibers if we want to, but so far there's no need to. So there you are. Okay, now we're on the bottom part of the property, and again here, because we're shooting up and there are workers all around here doing certain tasks and stuff, so we have to be really, really mindful of any shots that are down here, because they could carry up on that hill. And as you can see right now, coming over that hill, there's a guy coming over the hill in a front loader, and you never know where these guys are in relationship to where you're shooting. So a lot of times, if you think it's going to land on the farm somewhere, you still have to be careful, because although it may not be a house around there, it could be a worker like this guy driving the end loader down, front loader down, and you just never know where they are. So you always want to be careful with that as you go. Then the last part of the bottom part of the property, another vantage point here. You can see their buildings way up the hill, but we could actually take shots right here with the 177s, because the 177 is going to die long before that 300 yard out there. So taking a high shot here is not going to be much of a matter, as long as we're going to aim back over this building, because there's a building behind it. And we'll take one last look at the property, and then that'll end this part of how we try to determine what are the best shooting points for this. Hi. And there's a lady out there gardening I just spoke to. Okay, so if we were shooting down here, that she would be a potential in the area. So again, here we are looking to the top of the property, and again down towards the lake. And here we would know that pellet's going to land in that hilltop back there with a 177, but a 25 can carry all the way up the hill. There's just too many people around. Bird isn't worth the shot. If you're going to be taking a shot, the bird is just not worth the shot. So we'll continue to drive around the property for the last part of this. Again here, with a 177, if we shot at this rooftop here, there's a chance it could reach the building up there, so we would not go for it. Now anything over these buildings is fair game, because as you're going to see in a second, there's nothing behind these particular buildings except for a hilltop. And again out towards there. So basically here we have a good idea of where we can shoot and where it's safe to shoot. And so we're going to go to the top of this hill, drive to the top of this hill, and close out the video. But that's all it is. All I'm saying in this is that, you know, when you come on someone's property, don't get out and start shooting. Your first job is to walk around and see. There goes another truck. Your first job is to drive around the property, walk around the property, and find out. I'm sorry it's shaking, but it's pretty bumpy right here. Is to drive around the property and try and find out what's safe, where to shoot, where not to shoot, and so on. So I'm gonna go to this mid-level now, because one thing I like about shooting here is that there's usually a lot of starlings in that tree, and on top of this building here. And the nice thing about it is, if I get the vantage point on this, where I'm shooting over the top of that thing and back in the other directions, I'm shooting back into the woods, so it's not a concern. Okay. So generally, for this particular place, I will park here. And this is where they keep all of the sheep. So this place here is full of birds all the time. So this is an optimal parking place for hunting, for pesting. So generally what I'll do is I'll back up because this is where they keep the corn. And the corn is where the birds really love. So now, because of this position here, I have a backstop. I have really good backstops above 177. I can shoot anything in that tree. I can shoot anything on that rooftop because over there is nothing but woods. So we're gonna end it here and go inside and talk a little bit about pesting and safety. Okay, we've shown you the property. Now you have a good perspective of where we're shooting, and now when you see videos from that place, you'll know approximately maybe even where we're shooting from in terms of that. But again, reiterating the fact that we go with 177s, but we could go with 25 calibers, and if we ever have to go with 22 or 25 calibers, we know the safety areas in which to shoot it. Now, the reason why I'm doing this series of videos is because really concerned. I'm seeing this every day in the forums, and I'm seeing it in people's remarks and comments. People are out there buying 20 and 30 caliber guns and walking around and shooting them like they're BB guns. They're being sold by people on these long shots with 30 calibers, and they're getting that stuck in their mind, and they're not. I don't think that many of them are thinking of the safety concerns. That this is a air gun syndrome. These are not air guns. These things kill easily, and we all know that. But when you got your first one and you're looking online and gotta get a 25 caliber, 30 caliber. No one wants 177s anymore. And 177 is the perfect platform for almost anything you want to shoot. And it's the safest platform out there that you can shoot. But everyone's opting for higher calibers because that's what they're being sold. And I think that the people that are selling them those higher calibers and those long shots and those have a responsibility to, as they're selling that, to sell safety right along with it before something catastrophic happens. Because they sold a gun to a new person who went out in his backyard and started slinging 25s and 30 cals around. So that's the whole reason for it. So I hope you got something out of this video. I hope it wasn't too boring. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a bonus for you guys. I did a little shooting when I was out there making this particular safety video. There was a few birds I saw. So I took some shots. So I'm going to throw those in at the end just as some bonus footage for you. After watching this boring lecture on this, at least you get a chance to see some shooting. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you next time when we'll be talking again about safety and what I'm gonna call realism. Okay, and let me just set that up. Realism. Okay, this is realistic for me, and if I'm wrong, you guys write me in there and we'll talk. We'll chat. If you're out there and you're about to order a 30 cal or 25 cal because you want to go out and shoot pitches at 250, 230 yards, 200 yards, I'm going to say good luck to you, okay? I'm going to say very, very good luck. You're going to be slinging slugs all over, expensive slugs all over the place. They're going to be hitting the mud, they're going to be hitting everything else, but you're not going to be hitting bitches, I guarantee you. Those fantastic shots out there that you're seeing, and those, what would I call them? Those, fantasies that you have of doing it. I don't think I would be wrong if I would have said to you, a lot of those shots you watching a fantasy. But anyway, I do want to talk about realism in this safety and realism in this next video, where we're going to take a look at some things from the standpoint of some of these shots that have been taken, and I want you to see, instead of imagining them, I want you to see exactly what happens when you try to take a 250-yard shot with a 7 power, 8 power, 9 power scope, even 14 power. Because I guarantee you, these guys are not out there shooting 50 power scope, 35 for hunting. Okay, you get way too much shake, and I'm gonna show you that too. Okay, there's a corresponding thing. When you zoom in on something, the shake becomes crazy, even on a bench. So let alone when you're out hunting, and you can hold this thing safely on a pigeon at 250 yards or whatever, and zooming in as far as you can, that thing will be jumping all over the place. And I'll show you that. So let's just end it there and just say next time we're going to talk a little bit about realism and safety. And then we're going to close this series out, I believe. So, again, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you're getting something out of this. I hope that we're making things safer for all of us. Thanks again. Got him at 50 yards. Heck of a shot. Heck of a shot.